thing going on. I have two handles.
The man is picked up. Williams. Williams on the run. There goes Cincinnati when they needed Caleb Williams to beat Caleb Williams. There goes Caleb. Clock line's under 4. End zone wide open. Especially on that possession, they couldn't get him down and through this weather. Williams it did. Drop, lets it rip. He's got Gardner. Second down. Brian Burns, he fights for the fake. Right there, I thought he was going to put it on. Williams running. Volkamet turns into a blocker. Williams into the end zone. To get that ball. Look at the block.
I hope everybody enjoyed that clip. I know I had it up, I think, the day of the game, the day after the game, and a lot of views on that one. So, Dave, I know I could hear your mic because you're not muted.
Oh, sorry.
Right away, gotcha. One of my favorite things about that video, though, if I could just share it, and it's funny because, like, we've gotten to a point now where I make these videos where it's now back to, like, an art form because I'm so comfortable with the process, right, that it's not just about spending the time to make the video to just get it out there. Now it's easy enough for me to make the video to where I can add my touch. And I got to tell you, I'm a bass player, but early on I played trombone, and I just have this love for brass. Like, that powerful brass instrumental is one of my favorite things. And so when I made that tune, I was just like, yeah, that is just me in a nutshell. So I hope everybody enjoyed it and liked it. But yeah, so I wanted to start by talking about exactly what the title is, the 6-3 Bears and what is ahead. Now, at the beginning of the year, I predicted 6 wins total for the entire year, right? So I think a couple weeks ago, I told you that that's going to be wrong. They're much better than that. And here we are, 6-3, right? So, David, I think, like I've been saying the last 2 weeks, like I think we've both been fairly consistent with where we think this team is at. I think our differences are in optimism of what's to come for the future. I think this thing's going to play out and turn out to be pretty damn good. And, you know, I think last week, same thing, wasn't perfect. There's still plenty of areas that need, you know, that where we need growth from Caleb, from the offense, from a bunch of different players. He got the job done. Like, clutch is clutch at the end of the day, right? And so, like, one of the things with Justin Fields that used to drive me nuts is like, yeah, you have this amazing play, but it's in the first quarter. Come fourth quarter, you shit the bed. Like, that same exact play is worth so much more. I go back to, you know, my early days here in Chicago when I first came to the city, watching Michael Jordan play. And one of the statistics that I always hear about Jordan, I'm not comparing Caleb to Jordan. Let me just put that out there, right? But it's just the best example of greatness I have from my experiences here. And it was that statistic about the shots at the end of the game. Like, he's made, I mean, I should have pulled it up. He's made like 200, but he's taken 5 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But everybody always talks about the 200 you make. And I bet you the ones that he made came in moments where they're worth more. Like, you make them in the playoffs, you make them in the finals, you make them when it counts, your clutch, right? And that's why, like, you can miss them in the regular season here and there, and you can still live with those things. David, this team's winning. Like, it's not pretty, it's not great. There's lots of areas that need improvement, but at the end of the day, I think they're going to reach, like, the maximum of the potential that I thought they had at the beginning of the year. Like, 9-10 wins is like about as good as I thought they could possibly do this year. And I think might hit that mark.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. I don't think anything is. I don't even think the perspective is that different. I think it's fun as fuck to be 6-3. Let's start there. It's just fun. It's just more fun. It's nicer. It's better than being the opposite. It just is. Especially in a year where you're not playing to, like, get a draft pick or whatever, or right. There is still certain aspects to this where would you sacrifice like 2 wins here? Like, would you rather be like 4-4, but Caleb was like throwing 350 a game and like looking like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody, I think mostly would still appreciate that. But ask anybody in my friend circle. I am so excited by any playoff sports in my house that I am ecstatic to get it. So like, trust me, first game Saturday, Bears, whoever, I'm gonna be watching the fuck out of that thing locked in. So that's fun. Secondly, like this team is definitely better at some things, and Ben Johnson has just proven that he's good at coaching up a certain level of this team, where there's consistencies, and that's nice. It's not, you kind of do have an idea of what this team is by now. I would say I have a pretty good idea of the feeling for this team by now. Is it perfect? No, but it's probably ahead of schedule. And when you say like optimism still, like, right, like the forecast for us, like maybe the main difference for us is optimism. I'm super optimistic for next year. I'm much more already optimistic for next year. Like, no offense to anybody who's like on the bandwagon. I'm super pumped to be 6-3. I do predict at this point, not predict. It's just like statistically you're on track for a playoff spot. You're on track for 9 to 10 wins. And the way this team plays, it's going to win some, like, it's going to 100% win against one of those teams on the schedule that you don't think you're going to beat. The way they play, it's just scrappy. Some of it is luck. Some of it is scrap. Some of it is, just confidence and the vibes of the coach and how the team is playing. And they just don't quit, which is always nice. So that's a good thing to instill on a first-year team and stuff like that. So
I just wanted to address Shorty. No, this is a pre-recording, Shorty. That's why your comments up here. No,
yes, but so the optimism is still there. It's just more so. I'm definitely long-term optimistic. So far this year, I think this team has kind of. I mean, I think we can agree. Like, I think they've kind of peaked a little bit this year. I think this is about as good as I expected it to be. If it gets better than this, I'd be kind of shocked, right? If it got better than this, the only way it gets better, and let's be honest, because I'm not trying to like shit on Caleb after last week too much. The only way it gets better is if the one missing piece of your team is like if the offensive passing game, and blame whoever you want for it, just starts to click. Like you can blame whoever you want after last week. There were some missed catches, there were some missed throws. It's blameable, but like so far, it's just not. It's not very smooth. But I do think the one aspect of this team that if they get it down by like week 12 and like the passing game is rolling, you can 100% like count me in. Even I'll be on board for like a playoff upset. The way it's currently going, there is a part of this team that's gonna falter and against good teams. Let's be honest, you've beaten like 6 of the worst 10 teams in the league, right? So can you consistently do this against good teams? I think that it's closer than people will predict. Like when the first time you're matched up against the Packers in 3 weeks, right? I think people are going to be like, oh, it's a blowout loss. The Packers didn't score 10 points last game. The NFL's fucking random and it's sloppy and it's weird. And the Bills just lost to the Dolphins and stuff. So it's going to be closer than you think. But I think overall you're doing what you need to do. You need to beat bad teams, inflate your record, hope you get lucky against some good teams, and in the meantime, figure it out. I do think there is a little bit of results-based bias based on the vibes of what I'm reading around, right? Like people going like, we're so good, we're this, we're that. We're results biased, right? We are a Jaxson Dart fumble and concussion away from probably not even having a chance for a fourth quarter comeback, right? Like if he finishes that drive and it's like 27, 23, ifs and maybes, right? Like for sure it's Jaxson Dart, but like up until then, I mean, I think you were format as in.
Yeah. So I want to address this. So
StreamYard's
StreamYard's got this new thing where for mobile, it's got a separate window and a separate format setting. I have not played with it to adjust any screen sizes or anything, but apparently now it's like different on mobile than it is online, which is weird. So I don't know, Shorty. I haven't really looked into it, but you'll see when you log into your StreamYard what I'm talking about. They changed a lot. So yeah, it's just settings for the stream. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of mention that because it is weird. I'll play with it. I'll get it right. So
Yeah. So I don't know. It's fun. I think a little bit is a results based bias. If you lose maybe one or two of these games that are close, the same way. I mean, the same way last year ended, and everything was just like it's a catastrophe. It's the everything. The wheels are falling off because you lost a few close games, right? Like maybe it wasn't that much of a catastrophe. Maybe it was a little bit more salvageable, but because of the way it lost, everybody inflated it into it's a catastrophe. This team is one of the worst in the league. It's like maybe it wasn't as bad, and maybe this isn't as good. I'm trying to stay a little bit more middle just so I can keep the analysis a little bit more like stable. So if that makes sense. But fun as fuck to be 6-3. I mean, next week is Vikings. I think should be 7-3. Pittsburgh's next. Like you should win that one of the next two games. You should at minimum be 7-4 at minimum.
Yeah, Shorty, I have pulled up a couple chats, so if you haven't seen them, it looks like they don't come through on the mobile versions. But David, you're right, and like to be honest with you, the only real game where we got our asses handed was against the Lions, right? And they're probably the most complete team at a very good part of their season when you face them. They're healthy and everything, and so, yeah, that, and we saw what happened there, right? Like you didn't even get a chance for your fourth quarter comeback; you were already benched by then. Like they are a legit ready to go team. And I think that's one of the reasons too, like for this year to ultimately play out with a Super Bowl victory, like too much needs to happen. Right. So I am going to be very satisfied with where this team lines up. And I'm with you. I will be even more excited for what's to come next year because this thing has shown a lot of good signs. And at the end of the day, what I mean with Caleb, and like for me, it's not the stats, it's the moments and things like that. Dude, Zacchaeus had 3 drops that game, right? And at the end of the game, instead of trying to hit him on a slant, he's having a bad day. Like sometimes people just have, dude, you just put it on your back, took it in yourself, carried the team. Like that was a good moment. You know what I mean? Like, and I think a lot of the guys believe in him, and I think listen. We keep going back and forth with Carl. When they lose, it's everything else except for Caleb, right? But I mean, it's not necessarily wrong because I think where you're at with Caleb is you're not losing games because of him. You just necessarily weren't winning games because of him, right? So when you did lose, people wanted to point to the things around Caleb and say, well, it's not Caleb, but he's got the potential to carry you and do more. Whereas, that's why you draft him number 1 overall. However, I think you're getting moments now where you see you can win because of Caleb. Like there have been those times. And I think the worst thing to happen for teams is, I always go back to this. Tom Otto said it. You need 3 things to win a Super Bowl, right? You need to stay healthy. You need to be talented. And you need some luck. And I think what we talk about all the time is when you're not talented and you win more because of luck, it gives you an inflated sense of reality. However, if you are talented and like you're just not healthy, dude, you'll take every lucky win. And it won't matter if you're the Kansas City Chiefs and this and that, right? Like, so there is a line where at some point those lucky wins just become, I'll take them. You know what I mean? As long as the team's heading in the right direction, which I think they are.
I mean, there's definitely something to be said about like winning and the positivity that brings and the confidence. And I do believe that it's always the same problem with the Bears is they're really, really good at being close to the vest. And even like when we follow the Bears as close as we do, me and you, there are inevitably stories 6 months later that come out that we have no idea. We had no idea this was happening. So like the bits and pieces that you hear, does Caleb have a good mindset? Is he super coachable? Like, I don't know. We don't know a lot of these things, but what I do see a little bit is Caleb does seem a bit of not a head case. I don't think he's like a crazy person, but I think he is a confidence-based quarterback, right? Like if he's firing on all cylinders and he can feel it, I think he is gonna play better if he's feeling the offense, and that's just true of like most quarterbacks in the league. So I think there is something to just like, man, hopefully one of these games it just kind of clicks for him because he's feeling it and feeling confident to make decisions instead of thinking too much. So maybe it's a good thing in that regard. The one thing, like I said, is the one thing I did say that I would be the first person to be excited for this is if the passing game actually starts clicking smoothly. You're talking about like, oh, Super Bowl runs and stuff. Man, I don't care if you're 10-7. If you're going into the playoffs with like a last 5-6 games of the weeks, you're scoring like 35 points a game somehow, some way, some miracle, and it clicks. As this, I'm just quoting people who we've talked to that this is their prediction for the season. It's yeah, dude, we're fine. If you know me at all, I don't take things personal, but I just didn't want to like air it out on live, so I was just gonna message you or just talk to you personally. But yeah, dude, we're fine. It's totally fine. I don't take things personally. I don't, no hard feelings. I can move on and pretend it never happened. So no big deal.
Shit. I am not a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, but you're a little bitch.
Sure.
Yeah, there you go. So there is something to the idea of this team clicking on all cylinders and being, I don't care, man. If they're 11-6, 10-7, and this offense is like humming, we're talking like 32, 35 points a game. Caleb's like 250, 2 touchdowns every game. I'll be like the first one to be like, dude, watch out for this team as a playoff upset. Like this is a playoff upset team. If that's the one missing piece of this team, that if I'm sorry, like everybody's excited about the comebacks and all that stuff. Like you're still winning games with Caleb playing. This is a dramatic example, so relax before you freak out. It's like it's Tim Tebow style, right? Like you're making some passes here. He scrambles. It's great. It's entertaining, but he's still like
much
winning.
better than that, though, David.
He's much better than that. Of course, that's why I said it's a dramatic comparison. I'm not saying, but it's more of I want to win as Caleb playing like a fucking dynamite Patrick Mahomes style. I want him to win, right? You know what I'm saying? Like even though Jaxson has had his 250-yard passing, 350-yard passing games while still using his legs. But right now, it's not Caleb Williams did not come in the league and everybody's like, watch out for this guy to have 60 yards a game scrambling and touchdown after touchdown scrambling. Like, I just want that piece of his game to solidify and be complete. And then I'll get on board as hard as everybody else is. But it's fun. I'm glad for him. And I think it's a good confidence booster. I just want him I want those stats to not be 50% anymore. I get it. There's a lot of drops. It's fine. Whatever. I'm just saying it was 16 for like 30, 220, a touchdown. Something has to give. And at this point, you've got like you said, you've got good receivers. Something's off. I don't know what it is, but that's why I'm trying to keep it vague. Once the offense starts clicking, the passing part of this, dude, you have one of the 5 best running games in the league. You have a very Kansas City style defense. They bend, and then bam, turnover, and it's game changing. You have a solid special teams. We won't talk about kickers right now, but the fact that Cairo Santos still has a job is a fucking travesty. Put it in Jake Moody the rest of the year. I don't care. But if the passing game becomes like, if not the strongest part of this team, but like the second part, right? Because right now it's like running game, defense, special teams, passing game are like the 2 phases of their team that are like at the bottom. I need them to be like running game, pass offense, then defense, and you can win with some defensive shit.
So, like we talked about, how unexpectedly good the running game was, how unexpectedly good the defense was, getting, dude, they're first in the league in turnovers heading into that week? 19 turnovers this year? Like it's amazing, right? But the rest of your defensive stats are like 25th, 26th, but the turnovers will make up for all of it. They will. And I think that's why there's some optimism, because it's like, okay, when you get to the playoffs and you face some of these teams, well, the reason why I thought we'd be, struggling and losing games has actually performed really well. So even though it comes back to the means, it's still in the back of your head that like, no, this can pop. Like we could still have a 3 turnover game in the playoffs. We could still have a 100-yard rusher in the play, because we've done it in the regular season, and you know what I mean? So we've achieved those things, and therefore it's a possibility. And when it comes to the passing game, that's the one thing that I thought would be more ahead than it is, but same thing. If things come back to the means, like I'm still confident that will get better and get more smooth. And there is a lot of issues and there is a lot of things, but it is set up to get better. The fact that we're winning is buying the time, is buying the cushion. And in clutch moments, I mean, they're coming through. They are coming through, right? Despite things. David, Tap, I remember I sent you a text of one of his comments where he said he's going to tune in to watch you apologize. But I don't think David's apologizing. I'm with you too on certain things where it's like, okay, dude, I was very much expecting the roller coaster ride of a new quarterback, right? Dude, look at CJ Stroud. Look at what's his name? Jesus, Jaden Daniels. Right? Like even when these guys do pop and get signed, sometimes they come back to earth. Like Kyler Murray, like Tua, like what's Blondie in the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, right? Like sometimes even they take a step back. So it is a very long-term outlook. You should expect ups and downs. The downs have not been crazy bad. Like it's just moments where we wish it would be better. And like, it's almost nice to be able to like nitpick like this because we've seen a lot worse. Like we really, truly have. And like I said, you're not losing games because of them. And I think that's the important thing. And yeah, dude, I'm excited for the next year and a half of Caleb Williams and watching how that plays out and watching where he gets to a point. Because after that, like I said, it's fifth-year option time, and you don't want to sit there and be like, oh, should we? No. By a year and a half from now, like we got to feel really good about Caleb. And so the consistency has to develop by then. You know what I mean? But, dude, the flashes are there. Like, the 5 touchdowns early on from Rome are there. Like, those things are there. Now, let's put it all together, man. It's going to take some time, but pieces are there, man.
For sure. Like, again, I'm not hating on Caleb. I don't think I really ever do. I expect more out of him. And to generally speak of what me and Paulie always
just to remind everybody, like, you were the first to early on go out there and defend Caleb when people were all crazy about the whole deal. You were like, dude, you were very much in favor of Caleb and the whole idea of drafting him and everything. So like, yeah, no, you just have expectations for anybody in that uniform. So
it's just, again, we try to stay ahead a little bit. Also, our whole point is, and what we always do and try to do is like future proof and future plan. So 8 months down the line. So, because right now, people are much more patient, I guess, than I am. For whatever reason, maybe they're just like willing to deal with the bumps, which, I mean, I'm not begging for this guy's benching. I'm not saying I'm not unrealistic. What did I say last week? I said he has played just well enough to 100% already have earned all 17 games. It wasn't a catastrophe. And even when we did talk about catastrophic shit, it was way worse than any of the stuff that he's done so far. None of it is the problem. So
yeah, right. Maybe, and like Paul Martin saying, maybe we're not winning because of him, but we're definitely not winning in spite of Caleb. Like he's not out there like bombing games, and so
he's not. Yeah. He's closer to like Kyle Orton than Rex Grossman, right? Like Rex would like lose games all on his own. Kyle Orton would be like, well, you can't expect him to win it all on his own. He's better than both of those guys, obviously.
But the expectation's high. He's a first overall pick. Like
right. It's like exactly my point. So he deserves the rest of the year. I just think like if any of this carries over into weeks 1 through 4 next year, it's unforgivable. We're already just a little bit ahead of that. Like if he plays like this weeks 1 through 4 next year, that's unforgivable. That's unallowable. That's not okay. So whatever. So
looking at the rest of the season, I think the tough part is ahead of us though. The division games, the Vikings, man, this matters.
Literally, my next sentence was about to be, it's fun. He's progressing. Do I expect him to have in any way, shape, or form like a different stat line against the Vikings next week? Nope. No. 20 for 20, 20 for 32. Really? What did he do last game that would make you in any way predict that? Because I didn't see anything other than like a clutch fourth quarter. It was fun. And he played football that mattered in that moment, and he did what he needed to do to win the game. But this is one of those things of you can be nitpicky. If you played a little better quarters 1 through 3, you didn't really need that. because your team was playing really well up until then. They couldn't stop Jaxson Dart, so that's a whole separate. But the running game was working. You could have had a little bit better of a first 3 quarters. It was great. It was great. Don't worry. I'm trying not to be negative. But it's just I didn't see in one fourth quarter, I didn't see anything from Caleb for me to go like, and now he's top 5. And now he's top 10. He's still like quarterback 14 to 16 in the league right now. There's a whole half of the league I would rather not have. And there's a whole half of the league I'd probably be like, they're still better than. Doesn't mean that he can't grow into it. But I'm saying right now, next week, fucking 20 for 32 against Brian Flores, 200 yards passing, 1 yard one throwing touchdown, 40 yards on the ground, and maybe another rushing touchdown. It's his thing at this point. He's very stable at that.
And dude, and as of right now, it's not a terrible floor, man. It's not a terrible floor. And you look at the first matchup against the Vikings, right? 27-24. We also missed a field goal. We both said it after week 1. We felt the special teams lost them that game. However, there were things that the offense could have done better and this and that, whatever. You look at last week's, there were, like I said, 6 drops. On top of that, 3 fourth down conversions failed. Right? Like, so we could get into our personal preferences on scheme or on philosophy, or we could just go with, okay, agree or disagree. This is what Ben Johnson is. This is what Ben Johnson is going to do. He's going to go for it in those moments, especially when your kicker is Cairo Santos and you're playing at Soldier Field in that kind of weather. But at the end of the day, like, that coin's going to flip your way here and there. Right? So, like, close enough of a matchup in week 1. I think the Bears are on the up. I think the Vikings aren't necessarily on the up. And for a team that had a lot of expectations, I think they're falling short. And it's starting to kind of get a little iffy over there in Minnesota. Dude, like I said, they should have not moved on from Sam Darnold. Like, they shouldn't have risked this, and they did. And now you're paying the price for it. And so I think it's a very winnable game. I think there is definitely a chance for the offense to come out and clean some stuff up and look better. The stat line you put expectation-wise, like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but, like, I am predicting a game out of the offense because I think it's time. I think they're due, and I mean, like, that's kind of where I'm at, and that's what I want to see, and so that's what I think will happen. I don't know. I think it's important, dude. Those division games, like we talked about, we're already 0-2 in the division. But if you could be 7-3 and 1-2 in the division, you're not in a bad spot, David. I wanted to ask you this real quick before you make your point and rebuttal, or just not rebuttal, but address what I said. I know you'll know this one. Last time Bears were 6-3.
2018.
Okay. What about the last 3 times they were 6-3? 2018. What about the 2 times before that?
2016.
No.
Wow, hold on. 2018 would be Mitch.
Yep. And then
Is that the most recent one? Yeah, right?
Huh?
That's the most recent.
It is the most recent one. And the 2 times we were 6-3 before that.
2018. I'm getting my 2000s mixed up now.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be 2012?
No, a little bit before that.
2011? 2010. What's the Caleb Haney? 2010 is the Caleb Haney.
2010 is the NFC Championship. Yep,
that's the year I'm thinking.
And then the year before, and then the time we were 6-3 before?
2006. Yeah.
So you look at the last 3 times we were in this position. You had a Super Bowl appearance, a playoff appearance. I'm just saying, man. You know me. I go a lot on history. The last 3 times we were in this spot.
Let's hope they finish it and make the playoffs first.
100%.
Let's get 100%. There first.
I'm with you, but we are not in a bad spot. Like,
as much as the math,
especially if you win this game.
Exactly. You got to beat a division. First of all, what you're saying, which is like, I see them cleaning it up. I see them doing this. I see them doing that. I don't see them doing really much of anything. I think so. The one advantage of beating the Giants this way is I think this was your trap game and you managed to pull it off anyway. I think the Bears were so due for a natural dip that most teams this happens to. It's a good teams too. You know what I mean? This is 6 wins in a row for fuck's sake, dude. We're asking for 7. It's ridiculous. That's like they're going to be a historic team this year if they do 7 or 8 wins in a row after starting 0-2 or whatever it was. So it's just not realistic, first of all. So that'd be fun if it happens. Great. They were definitely they were due for a trap game, which was the Giants game. They were due for this. Like I said, shoulda, woulda, couldas. Jaxson Dart finishes that game, you probably don't win. Second,
we
it's
didn't win
nice
6 in a row, by the way, because we lost to the Ravens. But
right. So 6 out of 7. 6 out of 7 games.
6 out of 8. Because there was a loss before that.
Well, yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's the season. That's the season. 0-2 and whatever.
Well, I'm talking about after your 0-2.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so after the 0-2, fine. This is 6
after 0-2. It's like 6 out of 7. So you're going to win 7 out of 8. Like, that's crazy. That's really good. That's some really good, either like lucky type of shits season type of stuff, right? So whatever. They were due for a dip game. The Giants game was the dip game, and they ended up somehow coming out of it. I think it's a good wake up, shake up kind of call for them as a team. So like you said, just naturally, I think they're going to play better in Minnesota in a dome than they did, last week in a rainy game, blah, blah, blah. So that's all well and good. The prediction of the stat line, you're saying like they don't lose because of him. I don't think Minnesota's that good. I don't think JJ McCarthy's that good. I think you're in a better emotional and mental state than the Vikings are. So I do think that what I predicted in terms of the stats is good enough to win the game. But it'll be another like 27-21 win, 27-23 win, which if you keep beating up on bad teams, which at this point, like you said, Minnesota's trending down towards being a bad team, you're not going to beat the good teams with doing the same shit. That's why we need steps. We need a step up here. Like this can't be the same thing again. That's like my main problem that I don't think people can comprehend what I mean by with Caleb and shit is that this is not sustainable. It's fun, but you have to get better than this to beat good teams. And especially if you want to finish this game or this season with 11 wins or 10, like 10 is even, we're already talking about 10. We're 9 games in and you only need 4 more wins out of 9. Like that's realistic if you just play this level. If you get better, you can win more than that. You can win 5 or 6 more games this year, but you need to take one more step up. And we're just not seeing it. We're seeing awesome stuff happen, but we're not seeing the significant progress that I think even other people who are more positive are saying like by now it should happen, right? By week 10, Caleb's going to be understanding and clicking. Well, it's getting really close to that timeline of people for even the positive people, because the reason people didn't like what we were saying is our timeline and our leash was a lot shorter. But we're saying like these are people who are saying like by week 10, it'll all click. Nobody was saying like this year doesn't matter. It's going to be sloppy and Caleb can suck. And the next year he'll be good. No. People were telling everybody by week 10, 11, 12, he's going to get it and be on track and on time and da-da-da. And they've made a lot of improvements on this team. Like we've said, the running game, this is unheard of. Like this is just proof that a running game can be fixed with good coaching. Because you didn't change any talent. You just fixed it with better schemes and shit and more effort.
Eric Bieniemy became your running backs coach.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy and just good coaching in general, good coaching staff. So again, I just need to see another step up. I do think that what he's doing right now, Caleb-wise and offense-wise, it's good enough to win you some more games. I want to win more games. I want to win some unrealistic wins. I want us to beat the shit out of some. I want to see one beatdown this year. We have not even hit the nail.
But I think you hit the nail on the head with when this is truly going to matter is in the first 4 weeks of next year. Because like for us to like, listen, if they blow this thing out of the water, right, and do take that next step that you're talking about, that's like unreasonable and like you want to like awesome. That would be great, right? They're most likely not. They're most likely going to fall just short, right? Like 7, 8, 9 wins. Like if you get to 10 wins, that's amazing. If you even have a playoff game, that's amazing. Like you've really, I feel like you've maxed out your potential. Anything after that is just like holy crap. But But then come next year, you have to be able to do what you're talking about. And like, you have to be doing this stuff, and like, the no more slow start bullshit, no more 0-2, no more, like, no, everything matters. And by then everything needs to be clicking, and it should be there. It'd be nice to like I really like the game against the Bengals, because it's like, dude, the offense kept going. Like, dude, it's nice to see that. It's nice to see you're capable of doing that. Yes, I want to see it more. I want to see it more consistent, but like, it has to be figured out and like executed.
I have like 2.5
first
points.
4 weeks. Yeah, first 4 weeks of next year are going to be super important for the future.
They are, and they're not, though. Here's why. Like, you talk about these windows being open for such tiny amounts of time, and you're talking about 6-3, and when's the last time they were 6-3, and yada yada yada, right? That shit matters, combined with the fact that it is getting close to, like, if we're making excuses and we're still not there in week 15, and we're still haters because we're not patient enough, right? Like, that's the point. I want to against Minnesota. If you want me to hop on this train, go up 21-7 at halftime. You want me to hop on this train? Be up 21-7, be up 24-7 at halftime against Minnesota or against Pittsburgh, and have the best part of your offense perform early. The reason I say that too is, Paulie, hold on, but because the time is running out of, okay, well, he still needs to learn stuff. The other part of that is, okay, cool, weeks 1-4 matter, right? And knock on wood, but we're saying they get off to a hot start, Caleb's rolling, tears his ACL, right? Week 5. So it's like, these windows do fucking matter. Like, these windows super matter, because if you are 7-3, or even if you win ugly 7-3, then you beat Pittsburgh and you're 8-3, and you're in an 8-3 window, and you can't pull it off because the strongest part of your team is performing the worst. That is a wasted year. It is icing on the cake. I get you. It is 100% a cherry on the sundae. But the same way our expectations, like me and you, we drop our expectations when we know something's not going to go right, then you have to elevate your expectations and say, this is not good enough. If you want to compete in the playoffs, because you're 8-3, don't be the team that's frauds. Don't be the team that has like 11 wins. You're in the wild card spot, and you're in the Saturday slot game at 3:00, and everyone's betting against the fucking
dude.
Rams.
I don't want to be Minnesota with.
You know what
I don't
mean?
want to be Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. I don't.
That's what I'm talking about. So that's why, like,
I
it's not me shitting on Caleb or wanting. It's that I don't want him to be like an excuse for why you're in the playoffs as the 7 seed and you get bounced because every part of your team was doing well, but by week 20 of the NFL season, he still didn't get it, and people weren't patient enough. It's like, because by week 20 in a full playoff season, your weak link can't be this guy. It can't be. If they lose on defense, I can live with it because Matt Stafford lit them up. This defense was supposed to suck. If they lose on a fucking field goal, I might kill myself, but it makes sense because we're trying to warn you about Cairo Santos. So it makes sense. But like, it does not make sense that in week 20, if you're matched up against the Rams and you got to go to LA and Caleb comes out and throws for 175, 1 touchdown, no picks, and a rushing touchdown, like, that's just not good enough in week 20. I don't care if it's his first year. Like, that's all I'm saying. And it's a long ways away. All of this could be completely pointless to talk about. But if you want me to hop on the bandwagon and the train, like, get me a game where in the next 2 weeks you're playing Minnesota and Pittsburgh. Not great teams, not awful teams. Good teams, decent teams, mid teams. I want you to beat the shit out of one of them. Like, you want me to hop on the train? I'll come on here the next Wednesday and be like fucking painted half blue and orange and be like, fucking let's go. This is the year. We're going to do it. But right now it's not there. And I haven't seen it yet.
I'll hold you to that. To make the chat happy, we could get you a sign that says, I'm sorry.
Dude, I was wrong. I'll tattoo it on my forehead. I'll put a temp tattoo on my forehead.
So like, okay, I hear you. But here's the thing, dude. It is the NFL. right? So like style points only matter so much. I get what you're saying though. It's not about style points. It's about like checking those things off and knowing you're going to come across those situations when you do face real teams in the playoffs, right? So you need to have that stuff figured out, and you got to be able to execute it, and you got to be able to execute it properly. We've seen very small amounts of that, right? So I get what you're saying, but like to me, the win is worth more than 21-7 at halftime. You see what I'm saying? So like if you have 21-7 at halftime, but you wind up losing the game, like, oh shit. Like to me, number one, come away from this and be 7-3. Right. And then next is what carried the team and what needed to be carried. And I would love to see Caleb carrying the team more often than not, for sure. You know what I mean? But like, dude, yeah, no, the opportunity, like you said, to take control is now, right? And so, dude, we harp on every loss because we know that Vikings game in week 1 could have been a win. We know that Ravens game was an opportunity for you to snag one, right? Like, dude, it's rough, but like, yeah, dude, you get this one, it's going to be interesting, man, if you're 7-3. So the other thing is Shorty was right. In 2011, we were 7-3. We were 6-3 to get to 7-3 when Cutler broke his thumb. So the last 4 times, in 2011 was the one year that the outcome was different. We missed the playoffs that year. We wound up 8-8. After starting 7-3, we watched this team go 1-5. We lived through that. We understand what inflated success is and how short it truly lasts. Like, so even at 7-3, we've seen it fail, right? So like, that's why you want it to be real. That's why you wanted to go according to a plan. That's why you want it to be executed. I agree with you. Like that's the ultimate.
That's my point, man.
Victory,
like my standards are not this low. It's nice. It's cherry on the sundae. Arguably, everything at this point's already cherry on Sunday, is it not? Based on what me and you thought, right? So that's not the point. Is that again, my expectations move a little bit, and sorry if my expectation includes Caleb Williams like being good, like really good. He's good right now, but I mean like really good. I want him to be, when he's in the playoffs, I don't want him to be the worst quarterback in the playoffs. If they make the playoffs and you've got Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, let's just talk about the NFC. Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, who are the other wild cards? Like Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Caleb Williams. He is by far on that list the worst, right? As of now. As of right now.
But he still has, yeah.
Right. By the end of the season, I'd like him to be in a category that's like, he's better than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is mid. I want him to just like flat out prove he's better. Right now, he's definitely not.
Yeah. And so, it's interesting because we talk about the last times we were 6-3. So in 2006, after that Super Bowl appearance, you didn't make the playoffs again until 2010. And so in 2010, you went 6-3 again. You got to the NFC Championship. In 2011, you're 6-3, 7-3, and you missed the playoffs. You did not make the playoffs again until 2018. You were 6-3 then, and then you have not made the playoffs after that. I mean, no, you did. You did make the playoffs with Nagy twice, but like, what I'm saying is, a lot of those years where we were 6-3 were followed by not even making the playoffs, right? So they were like spikes of good. Right? Like you're 6-3, like it's a good season, everything rides on this season, because after this, we suck again, and like we're not making the playoffs for 5 years or whatever. This time, we're 6-3, and I actually feel like this has more of a chance to actually continue and ride out. And to me, that's credit to Ben Johnson. Like, dude.
I would tell you that, you know why the gut feeling is there? Because this is the same format. It's running game. It's opportunistic defense. The difference is there is a little secret X factor that when they play well, you look really freaking good. And if Caleb Williams plays well, dude, again, the standard is not what the point is not the win. Yes, Paulie, like you said, if you go all the way to the Super Bowl and you're winning every single game, 27-24, Who gives a shit? Of course that doesn't matter. But I'm telling you, like, it's national narrative. Right now, the Bears maybe are next to the Broncos as people who are like, yeah, these are good teams. They have inflated wins, right? But nobody's like really scared of them, right? The Broncos are like, whoa, 10 points, 10 points for the Broncos, and they're winning games. Like, nobody's like terrified of the Broncos. They're still like they have 8 fucking wins, man.
Yeah, there's
good
talk.
Team.
There's talk about them moving on from Bo Nix.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, you can be good. You can have a lot of wins, and there could still be a major problem with your team, right? And I'm not saying Caleb is the major problem, but he's a completely like week to week unknown X factor. And all I want right now is I want a little bit of national narratives. I want a little bit of like 2 weeks of Caleb, like 250, really efficient, 2 touchdowns. Doesn't even need to blow my socks off, but I want it to look like this is a complete team for like 2-3 weeks and beating mid-level teams. So that's what I want. Like I said, you want to shut everybody up. You want me to have you want me to hop on the bandwagon. If you can go up like 21-3, 21-10 even on the Vikings, and like your offense is really clicking at some level, I would be there. It's just, how many did you not? There was a comment earlier that was like, it's still a very frustrating offense to watch.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. It's very frustrating to watch. There are multiple times where I'm watching the game and I'm yelling at my TV like, get rid of the ball. Is there not am I the only one out there? It's great that they won. I'm screaming like a psycho when they're winning. It's like almost awkward how much I'm yelling in front of friends and family, and they're just like, yo, dude, relax. Because I'm excited. I'm excited when they win. And when they come back happen, I'm excited. But in the first 3 quarters of the game, half the time I'm going like, throw the fucking ball. Get rid of the ball on time. Stop it. Like, do something. Make it look good. Some level. And there could be multiple factors involved that we're not talking about for sure. There's definitely like some pressure. He's a miracle worker in terms of avoiding the sacks and all that stuff. So all I'm saying is, if you want to look like an actual contender, the team is already there for them to look scary going into the playoffs. But the way you look scary going into the playoffs and actually looking like a real playoff team is if this offense starts to hum. And the offense is humming on running. The offense is humming on the quarterback scrambling. The offense is kind of, humming in different. The one place it's not just smooth is just like, man, I just want to see some fucking drag routes go for 40. I want to see some like really nice, not amazing magical shit, but I want to see some click. And it's just not there yet.
Dave, I just want to address Dave L here. And it's funny to me because his first comment I put up there, he had a little Detroit Lions logo and he quickly changed that to hide it as if we would ignore him. Bro, root for your fucking team, but put your logo back on. We don't care.
Yeah. Also,
Detroit has a better chance of winning the Super Bowl.
No
That's exactly true. Yeah, like, dude, you got they're in their prime window. Like, part of this whole process for us that's frustrating is like, okay, the Vikings are having issues. You might be able to get them. The Packers, although they kind of game plan for being better than they are, they're not better than they thought they would be. They're having some issues. You have an opportunity to beat on them. The Lions are fucking clicking, man. Like, that's not where we're at. That's where they're at. And we're hoping that ends. Like, it has to, come back down to earth. But at the same time, Dave, what you're talking about is, the Rams getting into the playoff and Jared Goff having a 4 interception game. And so what do? They got a guy that will win that game and traded him for Matt Stafford. And what has he done for the Lions? Gone to the NFC Championship and had a 4 interception game. Like, maybe at the end of the day, when you look at Jared Goff's career, maybe that's what he's going to wind up being, like the guy that can take you there. But did you ban Shorty just now? Shorty's banned and their comments were removed. What is that?
No,
so
that was an accident. No, that better.
No. So whatever, I'll address that. But like,
no. I was trying to do the other guy.
Oh,
that guy.
Okay,
Oh,
so
on.
whatever.
David,
I'll figure it out. But what I'm talking about is like, no, you want to be you want to be that team that has Lamar. You want to be that team that has Josh Allen. You want to be that team that has Patrick Mahomes. Like, you want to be the teams that are riding on the backs of their quarterbacks, and their quarterbacks are getting it done. Why do you want to be that? Because you have to pay them. Like, this is just the way this whole thing is structured, right? Like, it's going to come time to where we have to pay Caleb. When that time comes, I don't want Caleb to become Tua. I don't want Caleb to become Trevor Lawrence. I don't want Caleb to become Kyler Murray. I don't want – no, Shorty, you're back. That was an accident. I don't want Kyler to become Trevor Lawrence. Like, I don't want Caleb to become Trevor Lawrence. I want Caleb to, like, rise and elevate and keep getting better to the point where we do feel confident week to week about riding games on his arm, man. Like, he's good enough to do it. It's taking steps there. And like I said, I don't think this year is going to prove all that. I think next year you have to prove it, right? So, like, I still think this year's got some figuring out to do, and I'm willing to live with the ups and downs of that. And, like, they've already achieved my expectations and are only overachieving. So, like, good for them. You know, I don't think this year is going to be special or magical by any means, but it's a good year. It's going to wind up being a good year.
I'm just saying, man, it's rides on one person right now that it can be magical, and that's kind of where I'm hoping and wanting it to go. But it does have a chance to be magical a little bit if he figures it out by like week 14. It's always a long fucking season. It's so much longer than everybody remembers it being. And the other part of it is that the bad teams by like week 14, they've given up completely. The end of the NFL season is the most predictable week to week stuff every year. It's the mid stuff that's hard to predict. It's the beginning stuff. But by the end, the bad teams have phoned it in. The players are phoned it in. This team should be competing until week 17, 18, because you're playing good playoff contenders till the end. Teams that you're trying to steal their positions. You're playing the Packers and the Niners, which are right now tied with you for the wild card spots. So you do need to play hard. And the way that you can actually elevate this team is the same week to week. There is one thing on this team that can elevate right now. Like Buka says, he needs to see the defense step up. The defense can't step up any more than, for God's sake, Nahshon Wright has been like barely talked about. He has been the third, fourth corner on this team, and he is doing so well in the situation he's in that you don't even talk about Nahshon Wright and how well he's doing it, right? All these players are in and out. TJ Edwards comes back, and our run game is fixed. Now he's back out, and now we look bad again. Guess what? The defense is playing pretty solid for how many moving parts and good players. Your best player's been out the entire year. Montez Sweat's having a good year, not great year, right? Solid year. So it's happening. Like the other teams, other parts of this team, there's no way for this team to elevate any further other than a natural progression of quarterback, which is what I've been told was supposed to happen, right? And that's again where I never thought of it. I agree the progression always had to happen and it should happen. But for us, it was always just a little bit more realistic. Like if he looks atrocious, just like pull him. If he looks good, let him keep playing. If he looks special, even better. I'll take a 4-win season with a 350-yard a game quarterback, right? So it's all, and part of it is eye test. Right now, the eye test is, this is not a scary team in the playoffs. It's just not. That's the eye test. They have one thing on this team that can naturally just slot into the role, and they become better. And it's not like some, instant overnight fix, but it's just like, dude, if this guy can just continue his way up, and by week 14, 15, 16, be a really good fucking player on this team and be, throwing less, but more accurate, more consistent, the passing percentage going up, all that good stuff. This team is a legitimately potentially scary team. It's just, there's nothing else on this team that can come back or be fixed for them to look different or play different. And that's why these playoff windows matter. You just, you are being realistic of this team being icing on the Sunday team already, but you just presented a bunch of statistics about how many times this team had a 6-3, 7-3, 8-3 season and then never did it again for a year or two. So if you're 7-3, 8-3, 8-4, whatever, like, dude, that has to happen. And like Buka, I understand if this team is just scrappy enough to win every game 27-24, no one will say anything. But that's just not how they're built.
But Buka, what we're talking about is like you go, 12-4 with Mitch. And what happens? You wind up not picking up Mitch's fifth-year option. But you went 12-4, so it's like, do you want to just go 12-4 just to go 12-4? No, what you want is the quarterback to progress and keep getting better. And those wins are great, and I care about them too. There's other things that need to happen as far as
Mitch
the
even
longevity.
played well in the playoff that year.
Yeah, he put you in the spot to kick a field goal and win a playoff field goal game. He performed in a clutch moment that he was asked to perform. So did Tim Tebow. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter as far as a long-term outlook, right? Long-term outlook, you're going to get the best results by, progress through your quarterback, man. Play through your quarterback, and that develops into a consistency thing, right? Like, it's fine. Josh Allen's career is fine. Like, he didn't start off the greatest. Had some bumps. He got to a point where, like, you knew when you did sign him after that year 3, right? Like, dude, that's where it's going to get to. And that's where I want to be at when that happens at the end of next year. At the end of this year, like I'm already pretty happy with the way things have gone for this team this year. So like I said, for me, it's all a learning experience. I don't have crazy high expectations, but the opportunity's there, David. You're right. That window has creaked open. You want to squeeze through it? Go beat the Vikings. Go beat the Steelers. Could you imagine this team 8-3? David, come on, like. That would be,
but again, if they're 8-3 and they beat the Steelers 24-21 and they beat the Vikings 24-21, it's a very non-scary 8-3 moving forward.
Yeah, especially if you wind up like 1-5 or 2-4 in the division at the end of the year, like, right? Like,
yeah. So
no, I hear you, man. But
I really, if anything, again, more than anything, I want him to be good. I want him to be excellent. It's just not. I would like some of these people who say like progressions, it's happening and stuff like that. Buka's always really smart about this stuff. But like this year, is there no week where if he keeps at the same level, it's okay? There's no week. Oh, he's talking to Dave in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw Dave and then I saw my name. Nah, Dave's trolling. He's just
I told you, King, don't let him get to you.
Yeah, he's trolling. He's just a troll. He's a
yeah, so what Daniel Jeffries says, is this last of number 14? No, it's just, but your
better players Luther Burden, for sure.
For sure.
So that's just, I think, I don't think the last of it, but I think you'll start seeing the, I think
you'll start seeing option at number
transfer. No, and I think you'll just see him taking more time from Zacchaeus. So, like I said, I'd like to hear from some of the optimists. So is it just okay for Caleb to play like this the rest of the season? This is fine? Or does he need to be like above, like he needs to be creeping into top 10? To me, he needs to be creeping into the top 10 category by like week 15, 16. Because we're in week 11, Paulie. And we're still at like below 60%.
This is what I was saying. Like we watched Rome come out pretty hot, Caleb and Rome, and then that connection died down. Like that was a nice little flash. Like that needs to come back, right? Like that needs to come back. You need to start putting all this together, and yeah, that those numbers do need to rise. Like I think he's at like 220 a game right now. You'd like to see it get up to 250 a game. You know what I mean? But is it like unachievable? Can it not? No. Like I think you're doing it. Like you're doing it. You're taking the steps. You're winning along the way. It's not perfect by any means. It is the NFL, though. Like, go out there and earn those wins, and, like, that matters a lot, too. But I hear you, man. Like, we have the Lions fan in chat here. Like, when did the Lions get good? Well, they won, like, 6 in a row at the end of their shitty year. But you knew coming into next year, like, fuck, man. They won 6 in a row at the end of the year last year, and, like, they came out and kept going. Like, they kept being hot. Yeah, you want to see that from this team, too.
And that's why the difference is that it's you're winning 50-50 games. Eventually, you might lose some 50-50 games. So what you just said, they won the last 6 to end the year, and they kept that momentum going. Well, what if your momentum is the beginning of the year, and you just won 6 out of 7 games?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then it fizzles at the end of the year. And then are you as optimistic for the next year? Probably not.
Well, that's why,
So,
like I said,
why
that's why
saying
the first 4 games of
to
next year. Then that's why the first. 4
I'm
games of
saying
next
something
year
needs to
then really
change.
matter.
He either needs to progress this year and look scary, or if it fizzles out, then you're like, okay, he's got 5-6 games, and then if not, and then people are going to start raging.
We got a troll question here. So is Jordan Love better than Caleb? And I want to kind of answer this. Like, okay, so Jordan Love is getting paid what, $50 million a year, and Caleb's on a rookie deal. So you have to factor that in. The production you're getting from the price you're paying. If Caleb was getting paid $50 million a year, and Jordan Love is getting paid $50 million a year, then I think it's a coin flip at the moment. Like, Love's been more consistent, but he hasn't necessarily shown you that clutch. Well, like, same thing. You're not always winning because of Love, right? Like, however, that's not the case. Caleb's cheap. Jordan Love is expensive, and you're overpaying for Jordan Love based off the production he's given you. So I don't know. I think that's like those are always shitty questions. Ooh, is this guy better than this guy? It's all situational, man, and finances dictate a ton of that situation.
So and also just like the best way I can explain it is the best Jordan Love, when Jordan Love's rolling and all that stuff, is better than anything I've ever seen in Caleb in 2 years so far. So that's a separate issue, right? Like, his peak was borderline MVP, and we're talking about trying to get Caleb out of the middle of the pack. It's also totally different timings. It's also totally different, getting to sit there and learn a team and offense. Like, Jordan Love physically, not even fucking close. Like, better physically. He's not more talented. He doesn't have a better arm. He doesn't run as well, but he knows his offense way better than Caleb does, and he can run it better than Caleb can, so it makes him look good. And so when he's at his best and everything's clicking, yeah, he's better than Caleb Williams for sure, because his best career timeline was borderline MVP for like 8 to 10 games, 2 years ago or whatever. But yeah, at his peak, Jordan Love has been better than Caleb, but right now it's like they're kind of closer than you want to admit.
Yeah, that's why I said, to me, it's kind of like a coin flip if they were getting paid the same. But the thing is, I think more who Jordan Love is, and I think Caleb still has more unknown, which could be good, could be bad, right? Like, there's still more to explore. Potential is the word that's often thrown around, and these teams pay for potential, man, like they do, right? So, like, I think where you're at with Jordan Love, and like, at some point the money's going to have to match what you are, right? So, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I don't know, man. We're going on an hour. Somebody told me I look like Lesser from GTA. Dude, one year I went as white trash. I wore the wife beater. Speaking of wife beater, I want to tell you a quick story. But yeah, with the mustard stains, and I just straight up just like ate a hot dog naturally and just got stains on my shirt and was just like, yeah, this is fine and whatever. Real quick about a wife beater. David, did you know this? I was in Poland, and like I was taking a tour of Poland, and like the guy there spoke English. And when he found out I was from Poland and spoke Polish, he was shocked. He's like, but you don't have an accent. Say something in Polish. And I said something in Polish, and he's like, my God. He's like, I've studied the language for years and this and that. He's like, but I can't get rid of my accent. He's like, for you, it's very natural and this and that. He's like, but I know. He's like, there's some things in Polish that are going to go over your head, like idioms. He's like, for example, like a wife beater. He's like, I'm not actually beating my wife. It's a T-shirt we wear here. I go, no. It's like wife beater translates. I know what that is.
Wife beater, the shirt is universal.
Yeah, wife beater translates through languages. So halfway across the world, they still call those things wife beaters. Just so everybody knows.
I don't think there's a good name for them. It's either it's a
dude. Apparently, that's just what they are. If you wear those things, no matter where you are on this planet,
it's either a dago or a wife.
Probably
beater.
hitting your wife, dude. Yeah. Thank you so much
trailer parks are the same.
Yeah, David, you want to give a prediction? Let's do a prediction.
Yeah, I got. Let's see if you catch this. Bears winning 27-24.
Score of week 1 just flipped. I have Bears winning 27-20. So, yeah, dude. Hopefully that happens. And, yeah, I'd love to come on next week again and argue with Lions fans instead of our own natural Bears fans.
But again, like,
right? That's refreshing.
I'm just saying, man, like, I hope I'm wrong. And I hope I'm wrong in the sense of, like, I want it to be 33-17. I want you to kind of beat them up. I want to see something different. If it's the same thing and we're coming out 27-24, that means we're just kind of closer to week 1 than we want to admit. Right? Because it's just, that's the flip side. We're 1 or 2 plays away from the same team week 1. I mean, that's not really what I want, but
we got Daniel Jeffries' prediction right there too.
24-17. It's not bad. I'll take 27-17 even. Like, I just don't want it to be you're almost the same team as week 1, but it's just like 1 or 2 plays different. And please put Jake Moody in. Get Cairo Santos out of the game. If you've Cairo Santos, I'm predicting right fucking now, in the next 2 weeks, if you keep Cairo Santos as your starting kicker, you're going to lose one of those 2 games because of him. Because of him. One of the 2 games will be a loss due to that guy. It's a warning now. We do this all the time, and everyone thinks we're crazy and being negative. I'm warning you. I'm predicting it because it's there, and it's staring you in the face, and you just don't want to address the problem. And this is what we always do when we try to talk about shit like this that people think we're haters. It's not that we're hating. We're trying to
Cody
point out a problem.
Don't do the Cody Parkey thing again, man. Like, don't do it. It is an issue. I hear you. And you know what? I'm going to clip that, dude. I'm going to clip that and make a video out of it. So it's there. Like, because for
send
real.
Send it to the Bears Twitter page.
For real,
like,
dude.
Send it to the Bears Twitter page. Like, make them fucking see it. Fuck.
Dude, for real. Like, just
find
figure
Ryan
that out.
Poles' burner and just send it to him. Like, God damn it.
They find anybody to kick nowadays, and they could kick 55-yarders. Like,
you've got 2 guys in the league that are like starting kickers that were selling insurance before the season.
It's more deep seated than that. It's the fear of getting better because you're afraid of getting worse. Like, and we've done this for a long time now. Where it's like, no, get better there, man. Like
don't being so scared to get rid of your C+ because you're scared of a D+ is at that point just get the D+, because Cairo Santos is a C+ kicker. It's not even that good. It's not. It's okay. It's above worse. He's C+. So it's, if you go to a D- kicker at that point, at least you know where you stand. You have a dog shit kicker that needs to be fixed next year. So
and you don't ask him, hey, can you kick it out of the end zone? Sure, coach. And then he kicks it short.
And then he can't do it. What did he miss last week?
Well, this guy's a D-.
Did he miss?
I won't even try that. Huh?
What was the kick length that he missed last week where you were bailed out? Was it 46?
Was it last week? There was the Ravens one where they did the hurry up, right?
He missed the kick last week against the Giants that got called back, and they got another chance on the drive. It was like a defensive holding.
Right.
And you want to talk about ifs, maybes, and shouldas? You should have lost that game on Cairo Santos. Because if you didn't get a fucking shitty hold from a shitty team on the shitty Giants, you're down 3 more points.
No, I hear you.
And to give him the ball back.
Last week one, missed the kick. Like,
he's a fucking active problem, but it's just barely good enough where you can ignore it. It's kind of.
Don't say it. Good night, everybody.
Ready, throw. Good protection. Lines it up for DJ Moore to the end zone. Touchdown! Take the shotgun snap. Late pressure fired. Ball reason.